Gang, what's going on? It's your boy Robbie, and I am back for another react. This is going to be one of them reactions to a reaction from my guy Anton Daniels. Been doing these quite a bit lately. Yeah, so this one's going to be from Ruth Chris, coming up with a dress code policy now. So I guess they must have had it with all the N-word nonsense, the nigga nonsense. I'm just gonna plain out say it. Somebody on one of my comments said, look, don't censor yourself. You know what I'm saying? We got enough of that. So they're done with the nigga nonsense at Ruth Chris. So they're enforcing a dress code now. Don't know really how I should feel about this. I mean, I'm one of those people that's just like, look, I'm not gonna, go back and forth, with the system or whatever when it comes to certain things. Like, it is what it is. But we're gonna let the video do all the talking. Make sure you like, sub to the channel, leave your comments down below, y'all. Let's get into this video.
I remember that dude that took his wife out to Ruth's Chris for Valentine's Day or something like that, and he was complaining that he saw people in there like sagging their pants and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that was me. So it turns out, not only did Ruth's Chris see that video, they liked that video. Not only did they like that video, they just came out with a statement saying they're about to reinforce a dress code policy in their restaurants. All right, so this article is from the New York Post. It was just published yesterday, the 13th. Today's the 14th, all right? Title is Ruth's Chris Steakhouse Owners.
You can tell he's excited about this. His video went viral, and he's having his moment. Go ahead, dog. Have your moment.
Crack down on diners' dress code. And y'all can read the rest of the article. Y'all can look it up. But basically, they cracking down on a whole lot of stuff. Hey, shout out to Ruth's Chris. This cool. This is cool. Now, maybe this is a coincidence. Maybe they never saw my videos. Maybe this was already coming down the pipeline. But I come on, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't no coincidence. It's not no coincidence. Over this last weekend, Valentine's Day weekend, my wife and I, we was at Ruth Chris, right? We went to Ruth Chris. That was our first time, and I did a video on it, and like, we were just like grateful to be there, because last year around this time, we couldn't afford to be there. We couldn't afford much of anything. So, we just did a video. Like, I was just so grateful, right? But there's one thing that I do have to talk about. I don't know what it is with us, and I hope you understand what I mean when I say us. I don't know what it is with us. Like, we feel like we have to bring this like street energy everywhere we go. Like, why am I sitting down with my wife at Ruth Chris, cutting into this nice ribeye, and I see dudes walking by with their pants sagging, with their jeans sagging?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. And I think I don't know if I posted a video where I reacted to this, but yeah, I did. And as a matter of fact, I'm still getting views on that. But that part, I definitely can understand how he feels. You with your wife, you on an outing or whatever, you want to be presentable, you know what I'm saying? So I understand exactly where he's coming from with all of that. It can be a little much. It's like, leave that in the street to a degree where it belongs. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you come into an establishment, it's like, all right, let's clean up. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with feeling that way. You know what I'm saying?
With these bubble coats with their hoods on.
So I'd like to say that I helped blow that video up and give it a lot of visibility by doing a reaction to it.
Of
driving
course.
Traffic.
Yo, everybody want to get their credit. Everybody want to get their shit off. Okay, man.
Back, but that's neither here nor there. The point is I wanted to show you the video that he just dropped. That was the one previously, and then this was the original video. So for those of y'all that didn't see the original, I wanted to remind y'all, of course, I'm gonna put the link down in the description back to his profile so you can go and follow him if you want to. But basically, he set off a huge discussion, in which obviously I reacted to also. He set off a huge discussion about whether or not black people or the culture, and let's not even say black people. I have to train myself differently, because black people are not a monolith, and there are some really, really great ones, a lot of them. Black culture chose violence. So many people actually reacted to this and said, listen, Ruth Chris is not fine dining. I don't care how much money it costs. We have ghettofied it, and we have made it horrible for people to patronize. And I just was so amazed and appalled at so many people, because I don't even think that just because it is required for you to carry yourself appropriately in certain environments like a Ruth Chris, And there's several different.
And I'm gonna tell you now, it's gonna be that one person out the group that's gonna go to Ruth Chris and try to test the powers that be. They're gonna try to basically test it and put it to the test and just try their luck coming in there looking a certain type of way. They're gonna make sure they peoples is recording, or someone is gonna just pull out their phone and they're gonna try to make a scene so that they can go viral, because people are addicted to viralism. You know what I'm saying? I just see that being a thing now that they put this dress code in effect. You know what I'm saying? I see that happen. I know y'all probably agree with me on that one. It's coming.
Restaurants, obviously, that we can name, but we not, because we're not trying to, bring visibility to everybody. But the point is even if you're going to a regular restaurant, I think you should carry yourself and dress.
Yeah, listen, man. If you go on to Chili's, Applebee's, whichever one you choose, the 2 for $20, I don't even know if 2 for $20 is still a thing now. But regardless, listen, you got to come correct. You got to come looking a certain way, because the way that you look, I hate to say it, I mean, that's just the reality that we live in. The way you look can a lot of times determine how you're going to be treated. You know what I'm saying? If you coming in there with the nigga nonsense, your pants sagging and all of that, it's like, it's okay to wear the Montclair bubble jacket or whatever it is, but make sure your pants is up. Make it look good. Make it look presentable. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to see your Duke Street drawers, you know what I'm saying, all out and about. Like, come on, man. Tighten up.
Appropriately. It doesn't matter, right? You should try to do your best. I'm not saying you got to put on a sport coat to go to Applebee's, but you should try to do your best no matter where you go. So when he brought this up, I don't know why I had these crazy expectations that everybody was just going to be like, you know what? We do need to do better. We do need to do things correctly. I was wrong. I could not have been any more wrong than I was when I then found out that everybody was appalled at him saying that people needed to carry themselves a certain way when they go into Ruth Chris. Well, to my surprise, and I'd like to think that I had something to do with the visibility of this also, Ruth Chris coincidentally said, you know what? We do need to enforce a dress code. We do need to make sure that we don't go to the bottom of the barrel in our reputation because we're trying to appease and play the game of, I don't want to offend the culture, diversity, equity, and inclusion, making sure that we are really fighting the power so that we can get the American dollar. You don't want to boycott, you just don't want that negative visibility. You've seen Jamal Bryant taking credit for the boycott of Target and stuff, and that wasn't even him that started it, but neither here nor there. The point that I'm making is that he does deserve credit, and this is one of the things, this is the power of social media in a positive way. Because social media is used, I would say maybe 90% for negative, 10% for positive. This is how you leverage it for positivity, because I do think that you should carry yourself. And I even did a reaction video to a woman that was a former server, saying, well, it's the dope boys and this that spend the most money. How ghetto and how ratchet and how crazy that we continue to support such foolishness.
If you're a Black American, I need you to stay right here. If you're not, I'll give you a few seconds so you can go on and scroll on by. Great. Okay. We need to have a talk.
Let's talk.
It comes to a point where supporting and defending your community just it becomes so exhausting that you feel this frustration, and you start to understand why people have the Black fatigue that they talk about. The Houston Rodeo, a family event. You have people there fighting, stealing, acting like menace to society, lawlessness, at an event that's supposed to be a fun, family-oriented event. You have Ruth Chris now saying, hey, we don't want to do this, but you guys are forcing our hand. We're going to have to enforce a dress code policy because how you guys are coming in here with your pants sagging, looking sloppy, all of these things, we just cannot allow. So then you sit back and you wonder why other races will say, we have Black fatigue. Guess what? I'm Black and I have Black fatigue. I am tired of the wrong type of people in our community. Because let me preface this is not all black people. This is not. You have people over here making life miserable.
Facts.
For other fellow Americans because you have no manners, you have no standards, you have no morals.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people would probably blame a lot of that on, the music, the movies, the television shows that we watch that have a high influence on the people who watch them. And for a lot of people, they don't know how to turn that on and off. They don't know how to turn that entertainment switch in their brain off and on and take it for what it is. It's not to be taken in the literal sense for you to actually go out here and live what you watch, live what you hear. But that's just the nature of the human, the beast, you know what I'm saying? And people like to take what they hear and what they see and bring it into public spaces. And it's like, come on, man. Like, we got to do better. You know what I'm saying? We got to.
I don't care how you were brought up. If you were raised in the hood, if you were raised in a suburb, I don't care. Having character and manners will always take you far.
Facts.
It's a fact.
So no,
Agreed.
I don't blame people when they say no. We don't want your kind over here.
Yeah,
I'm
and I mean, it
hesitant.
has nothing to do with, I don't think it has anything to do with race. I mean, because, hip hop, black culture, we are the influence. I mean, we have a huge impression on people from all cultures. You know what I mean? And so it's always been this stigma of the ghetto part of our culture being the most glorified. Whereas when you go back in time, you see we wore suits and ties and stuff like that. We dressed with some sense, you know what I'm saying? We wasn't out here doing that nigga nonsense. You feel me? And then all of a sudden that just took the front stage. And that's what we've been running with. If we have the biggest impression on, people in terms of style and fashion, we need to switch it up, man. People talking about, oh, quarter zips are out of here. Why though? You know what I'm saying? Because it's too formal. It's too preppy. You know what I mean? Like, look what I'm wearing. I'm wearing a newsboy cap. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really on my Picasso right now. But I got on sweats, but I was able to mix it up. I got my Space Jam joint on. You know what I'm saying? Let me show y'all the back real quick. I know we just took a little intermission, but let me show y'all the back, though. Like, you can't tell me that's not tough. But I got you know what I'm saying? I just know how to, spice it up a bit. That's how you got to be, though. You know what I'm saying?
I don't blame them. I do not. Because if anything, what it shows is that you cannot call a pattern of facts racism and stereotype. Stereotypes all come from
somewhere.
the truth.
They come from somewhere.
What a concept.
They come from somewhere. I'm glad that Ruth Chris is standing up for itself. Now, I know that there's going to be some people that are offended at the idea that Ruth Chris actually wants to enforce a dress code, because today, in this day and age, everybody should just be able to do whatever they want as long as they're spending money and not tipping. Not tipping. Because we ain't even going to talk about tipping culture. First thing I'm trying to figure out is where y'all getting all of this money from? Where y'all out here at Ruth Chris? I ain't got it. Don't ask me for.
Hey, man, listen, you already know it's tax season. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's obvious. And I'm not saying that there aren't people out there who are not getting it legitly, but, it's tax season, man. People got extra bread. You know what I'm saying? They claiming about 4 or 5 kids, and so they're getting their money. And I'm not knocking them. Look, get your paper. But that's essentially where it's coming from. By end of April, going into May, there will be no more money. And that's going to be crazy because May is when we got Mother's Day, we got Cinco de Mayo, we got what else going on in May? We got Memorial Day weekend. Yeah, niggas' pockets going to be tight.
Nothing. I am tapped out. And I'm going to go ahead and eat at home instead of going into Ruth Chris and trying to fight with people that got on bubble coats and Timbs at these type of places. And that's the way that they want to dine. And I'm going to be honest with you. Most restaurants don't trip about it. Like, they don't make a big deal if it happens here or there or whatever, or somebody
True.
comes in, and as long as they got their shirt buttoned up, they should be fine. You know, they don't make too big of a deal about it, but when it starts to get out of hand and it becomes a cultural norm and they trying to turn Ruth Chris into Wendy's, then that's when they have to start
Yo,
saying
how Wendy's
something
catch a
because
stray
they
like
don't
that?
want the quality of their restaurant to just absolutely, positively go into the toilet. And I do not blame them. They shouldn't have to deal with the foolishness. And all you should have to do, really, ideally, you should just have to be able to establish what your cultural norms are. You know, say, hey, this is what the dress code policy is. You shouldn't have to go and try to enforce it. But
Right.
I don't think that this conversation is over because I think that people are going to
Of
revolt.
course not.
And I know who the people are that are going to revolt. It is going to be so hilarious. But I'm going to stay on top of it like I always am. Make sure you guys tap into the Patreon. Link is in the
Right, that's the end
description.
of the video, y'all. I mean, I agree with them. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta, it's gotta be a time and a place for everything. And coming into an establishment, you know, looking like that, that's not the place to be doing that. You know what I'm saying? At any establishment, for real. We just gotta change things up, man. We gotta be the example for everybody because the world is jumping off a cliff. The world been jumped off a cliff and we are falling. We are falling to the depths of nothingness. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta change things, man. We gotta change things. But I'm gonna be sure to link this video down below in the description in case y'all want to check out some more of Anton's videos. Go support him. If you made it this far into my video, like I always be telling you folks, it means a lot to me that y'all be watching. You know, we constantly getting new subscribers on the daily. I appreciate y'all for real. I'm even in the comments with y'all talking like I'm one of y'all. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely appreciate that. Make sure you like, sub up to the channel. Y'all leave y'all comments. Once again, it's your boy Robbie. And until the next video, we out of here.